Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making a jerk rasta pasta. So if you want to see this recipe, stay tuned. So the first thing for this recipe you're going to need to do is slice your bell peppers. Prep is everything. I typically have bell peppers sliced and diced in my freezer, but I was out, so I did have to do this right before. But I'm going to thinly slice them all so that I can saute them and add them to my sauce. Don't be worried if you see me setting a lot of scraps to the side. I am going to dice those up and freeze those for use in other recipes, pasta sauces, soup, and whatnot. So the next step in the recipe is to season your shrimp. I've already added a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder. I'm using Old Bay, some Creole seasoning, and then the star of the dish, I'll be using Jerk Seasoning. This sauce is going to be so good. Once you season it up, add your pasta. It is going to be chef's kiss. Here I'm just stirring my shrimp to incorporate all the flavors. Once that is all mixed, I'm going to set it aside. This next step is optional, but I am going to be adding a little bit of salt to my pasta water. Now in a large skillet, add in some olive oil. That way you can cook your shrimp on both sides. It's usually about 2 to 3 minutes per side, depending on how large your shrimp are. Now I'm going to flip my shrimp and cook them on the other side for about 2 minutes. Once they are evenly cooked, I am going to remove them from the skillet and set them aside so I can start my sauce. Once all the shrimp has been removed, I'll add some minced garlic to a skillet and saute it until it is fragrant, and then I'll follow that up with my sliced bell peppers. I'll saute those until they're slightly tender, and then I'll begin to add my heavy cream to start building my sauce. Once you've added all of your heavy cream, I just like to stir the heavy cream and the peppers to combine the flavors and to ensure that as your sauce starts to boil, it does not stick to the bottom of the skillet, because don't nobody want no burnt sauce. As your sauce is continuing to cook, just make sure to stir it occasionally so it does not stick to the bottom. And now you are going to start to season your sauce. I will list the ingredients below so that if you want to duplicate this recipe, you have the ingredients available. But I am going to be also using a little bit of Old Bay, Creole Seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper. If you've noticed, I have not added any salt because this recipe does not require it. If you are tasting your sauce while you're making it, you can add salt if you would like, but for my family, I don't need to add any. Next, I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons of the jerk seasoning, and that is going to be the highlight of the meal. Now's the time to taste your sauce and adjust seasoning if necessary, but if it's all good, you can continue on. Now your sauce is going to begin to boil. While it is still cooking, it should begin to thicken up, and the sauce will also darken in color as it continues to cook and incorporate all those flavors. While your sauce is still cooking and is getting more thick, it is time to add in your cheese. I am going to be using shredded Parmesan and shredded mozzarella cheese. You can shred it yourself, but for sake of time, I am going to be using already shredded cheese. Personal preference, if you want to do it yourself, you are more than welcome to, but for sake of timing on a weekday, baby, this is getting bagged cheese, okay? As you're stirring in your cheese, your sauce should become as thick as you want it. You can add more cheese if you want it thicker, but as you're cooking it down, it should begin to thicken a little bit more and get to the consistency so you can add in your pasta. Now I am going to begin adding in my pasta noodles. I am going to be using Penne Pasta. You can use whatever pasta you want. I see a lot of recipes call for linguine, or you can use ziti, bow tie noodles. You can use whatever noodles you want, but I am going to be using the Penne Pasta noodles. I always end up cooking way too much pasta, but I am making a large pan of this pasta so that my husband and myself can have some tonight for dinner, and then we can also have some left over tomorrow for lunch. Now that the pasta is done, you are going to add your shrimp back in that has been previously cooked. I'm adding this back in just so it can get back to the same temp as the pasta. I do see some people like to cook their pasta and then place their shrimp on the top, similar to the way you would do with salmon or another piece of fish, but I like to incorporate mine. I'm not a big fan of shrimp, but as long as I can have it covered in some sauce, I can eat a few of them. Now go ahead and grab your plate and serve it on up. This pasta looks so good. You can serve it with some crusty bread. I also added some broccoli on the side at the end, but for sake of this video, I am showing you the completed product of this Jerk Rasta Pasta. It is so good. I will list the ingredients below if you would like to follow along. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.